Hello pandas of the internet, my name is Panda-chan. I am a full-time artist-ish, a part-time cosplayer, and someone who has been at work for 7 days a week. I'm not going to complain to you guys about it though, so instead, let's read a horror story. Since last week's was a bit short, I decided to read an extra long one for you this time. So, if you're ready, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. This RPG horror story was posted by Puzzle-Headed Bed 7070. Cops called on ex-DM. Their wife tried to steal thousands of dollars worth of my stuff. Huge warning to in-person players. Hello again, people of Reddit. I'm going to preface this story by stating that it is kind of less of a horror story in terms of anything in the actual game, but more in real life because of the game, so to speak. It is an odd one, but I think it's good to post it here so people can be careful and mindful. Names changed for obvious reasons. Alright, so this is back during the height of the 3.5 glory days. I was playing with a group of players where we met weekly, sometimes maybe even twice a week, or rather just 2 weekend days, like Friday night and Saturday during the day, at the DM's apartment. Let's call him Shrek, and let's call his wife Gruntilda. I'll just be me. Other players mostly are irrelevant to the story except for my good buddy maybe. Let's call him Milhouse. So, this story is kind of another warning about not having couples on opposite sides of the DM screen, i.e. never have players who is the significant other of the DM. It basically never works out well, and there's always biases and favoritism. This will be somewhat important later. I forget which module we were doing at the time things broke down, but anyways, Shrek was the DM and Gruntilda was a player. Milhouse was playing an Orc Barbarian. I won't say what I was playing. Alas, that'd very easily give away too much information because of how uncommon it is. Gruntilda was playing an Elf Ranger. Other players included a girl playing some type of Dark Knight, Anti-Paladin, something like that wanted or had a nightmare for a steed/mount, and a final guy who was playing a human bard. We did play for many months, heck, maybe even a year or two, but there was always problems with Gruntilda being whiny, selfish, and throwing hissy fits when not getting her way. In this particular campaign, she wanted a black dragon for her animal companion as a ranger. A baby one, but still. Shrek, not wanting to upset his wife, decided to let her have it. Now, this is where the problem lies. I didn't mention this before, but we did play using maps and minis. I was kind of the one who actually had a good job, and so I bought basically all the 3.5 books and constantly bought those 3.5 D&D mini blind boxes, as well as some of the iconic figures, like the adult black dragon, the Orcus demon figure, the adult red dragon, etc. Because transportation would have been annoying, and the idea of having everything just smashed into a Tupperware tub instead of placed neatly in their own places to keep them from getting damaged. Early on, after a month or two of playing with this group, I agreed to just keep all of my stuff at Shrek's place, and this is the warning for all you IRL in-person players. Never do this. Unless you think you can trust your DM with your life and your stuff, and even if you can, if they suddenly get married or such, get your stuff out. ASAP. This meant all of my books, all of my miniatures, all of my dice, all of my map packs, etc. Several thousands of dollars worth of stuff, probably even more because many of those rare/epic figures were insanely valuable at the time. The Strahd miniature, Champion of Alistar, Evil Wizard riding Black Dragon, pretty much any and all dragons themselves, etc. Well, one of my minis amongst all the minis was the baby Black Dragon one. valued at the time at like 30 to 50 bucks easily, because it was an epic rare, like 1 in 100 blind box kind of thing. And so, of course, upon wanting and getting the baby black dragon in-game and the mini being used to represent it, Gruntilda goes, "This is mine now, I own this!" To which I, an introverted collector, adamantly refused against. She then tried to be like, "I'll just give you $5 for it, that's fine. And then it's mine." Again, no, it's mine. It's part of my entire collection of Black Dragon figures, from baby up until the gargantuan one that was a purchasable standalone figure, which was also my favorite dragon type. So, of course, she throws a fit and kicks us all out of their place. Milhouse was the friend who got me into the group in the first place, and the one who tried to negotiate with Shrek and Gruntilda for a peaceful resolution to the situation, because the ultimate fallout of things was that Gruntilda wanted me banned from their apartment and kicked out of their group. Being married to her, Shrek didn't really have a choice. However, when it was brought up about me getting back my stuff from their place, Gruntilda tried to go, "No, it's all ours now. I own it all. You can't have it back." Credit where credit is due, Milhouse did all he could to try and reason with them, and Shrek probably did want to give it back initially, but he did go along with his wife, because if he ever hinted at going against her, he'd probably never hear the end of it and find himself kicked out too, even if it was his place technically. So, cue having to call the cops, having to have Milhouse witness that yes, it's my stuff. Thank God I am a pack rat who keeps all their receipts and could show to the cops that yes, I did indeed purchase all of the items and that they were mine. And them basically telling Shrek and Gruntilda that they had to give my stuff back, that if any of it was damaged in any way, they'd have to pay for it. This would make certain that Shrek didn't allow anything to happen to the books or minis at Gruntilda's hand, who was likely to throw another fit at finding out she couldn't keep my thousands of dollars worth of stuff, and that I would be coming to pick it up with a police escort that same day, and Gruntilda was not to be there when I did. I went with Milhouse to get my things, and Shrek even apologized about Gruntilda being such a B-word, and that his hands were kind of tied. Didn't change the fact that I had to call the cops for a resolution. Milhouse dropped out of the group as well, and being down to 3 out of 5 players, I'm sure the group disbanded. Well, the other girl moved away anyways, so they would have been down to just 2, one of them being Gruntilda. It took Milhouse and I a long time to find another game. It was an in-person game, but the new DM had his own stuff, minis too, and only said if we wanted to bring a mini of our own to represent our character in the event he didn't have one that fit, we could. Moral of the story, kids? Even if you're the DM yourself, but you play at someone else's place, never leave your stuff anywhere. You never know what may or may not happen to it when it's out of your sight. Also, never have a couple play on opposite sides of the table. If there's a husband and wife, they should both be players or be co-DMs. Never one player and one DM. It always gets messy. Oh, one final thing. When I had sat down and went through all of my stuff, it was hard to know what may or may not have been missing, even if I had a good memory of things. But you can guess which miniature wasn't in the lot of stuff. Yep, the baby black dragon. Gruntilda had apparently swiped it on her way out when Shrek forced her to leave and go to her own mother's place, so I can come and collect the things. Milhouse managed to find a replacement for me, bless him. And if there's ever a chance Gruntilda finds and reads this, I hope you choke on that mini. You owe me $50, and you owe Millhouse $50 for what he had to pay to replace it. That's all. Good night, Reddit. What a wild ride. I do think there is a difference in playing with a couple in a group who plays only D&D together versus a group of friends who also play D&D together and just happen to have a couple in it. If the couple doesn't have a close connection to the others at the table, of course it's more likely to show preferential treatment to the person they prefer. But with that, we come to the end of the horror story. Leave me a like, subscribe, and in the comments tell me what color baby dragon would you have as a familiar. I personally prefer a fairy dragon because they're super cute and I'm a sucker for fairy wings. The links to the original story is in the description, so go give it a read. You can find my social media down there as well. And with all of that being said, I will see you next time.